A White House staffer has been fired for a notorious anti-Obama regime Twitter account. A senior U.S. National Security Council staffer has been fired for using anonymous Twitter accounts to send hundreds of messages criticizing the Obama regime from inside the White House. He's Jofi Yosef, a director of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Team inside the NSC. The account was actually opened in February 2011. They spent months investigating who was tweeting from it. This is interesting because this is the type of news I'll be getting into in the next couple of videos, talking about some pretty kind of deep conspiracy stuff, and then maybe some mainstream articles trying to prove it. But we've talked about nuclear generals, the second one being fired just recently, and then you have this individual. So something's going on in the nuclear aspect of the U.S. government. Maybe people aren't taking orders, so they don't like what they're hearing or what. But as far as this guy goes, he made some tweets against Ben Rhodes. A National Security Council spokesman Timothy Viter told the Daily Beast that his accusations are baseless. I sat 10 feet away from him for 2 years and worked closely with him since 2007. The guy spent more time trying to prevent the publication of damaging classified information than you could ever imagine. These allegations are flatly wrong and they're completely ridiculous to anyone who knows Ben and the work he does at the White House. Fox News PR department waged war on critical bloggers with sock puppet accounts. The NPR reporter, Mr. David Folkenflik, I don't know if that sounds like a real name or not, but new book, Murdoch's World, accuses Fox News PR department of using scores of fake commenter accounts to challenge negative, even neutral articles in the blogosphere on Fox News. Employees were even expected to challenge other negative comments on the same post, a tactic shared with unhinged stalkers, trolls, and basement dwellers the world over. Several employees had to acquire a cell phone thumb drive to provide a wireless broadband connection that could not be traced back to Fox News or News Corp account. I think they're all basically pushing the same type of agenda, which is big pharma, big military complex, big banking. So it's not like I believe one is, conservative or something like that. It's actually Fox News and neocons. There's trolls for everybody, right? I don't think they really have any political affiliation. Super Bowl champ Baltimore Ravens getting paid $130,000 to promote Obamacare. Despite the decision by the NFL to ignore the regime's pleas to promote Obamacare, the Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens have decided to go all in exchange for a $130,000 contract, according to documents unearthed by a public watchdog group called Judicial Watch. So far, the White House has been trying to recruit professional sports leagues and players and that to help promote the president's healthcare law, but they have declined. Again, this isn't really the president's, this is the health insurance companies themselves. So, but they call it Obamacare just to pin it on him, so it takes the the spotlight off who's actually behind the bill. I saw this article when I was looking for news articles today. Support for U.S. healthcare law edges up despite website woes. Americans appear to be somewhat warmer to Obama's signature healthcare law despite the troubled rollout of the government website that is essential for blah, 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 right? This is the Gallup survey, which probably manipulates most of public opinion, say that people are slightly more positive than now after they've had it shoved down their throat and have their government held at gunpoint unless they pass the stupid bill. So it just really goes to show you how they engineer consent right here. Very blatant. But at least they admit down here in the article, still 45% of those polled in mid-October said they generally approve of the law, while 50% said they disapprove. Well, insurance companies use smart appliances to monitor unhealthy habits. So we're talking about forcing people to have private health insurance. And when they have this, all kinds of their habits will be what? Basically, they'll be fined if they do it. So it's just a way to get in basically your personal life. According to the CIA, David Petraeus, the IoT Internet of Things will have a monumental impact on clandestine tradecraft. Consumer appliances are now becoming activated and smart with RFID chips and wireless connections, enabling devices like TVs, refrigerators, printers, basically everything to communicate with each other and generally make life easier for us. But it comes with a price, It comes with a price. Their privacy is eliminated. Well, it'd be one thing if people actually did trust their government, they trusted each other, society was generally healthy, but how could you really trust most human beings when you see stuff like the shootings that go on and all this crazy stuff? with the government and that, cops, having women strip and shooting 13-year-olds for having a toy gun. It's hard to really have much trust, so you don't want to give up privacy in that type of world or society. I'm talking about a detailed, multi-dimensional image of our daily lives will be built with this system. Individuals to entire group dynamics will be tracked. It will be unparalleled in history. Everything from daily travel routes to eating habits will be traceable. Now, insurance companies are anticipating this hyper-connected future. Will they spy on your eating habits like your health insurance and hike your health insurance cost? I remember covering this earlier this year from National News. The grocery store loyalty cards are being tracked by insurance companies to deny claims and raise health insurance rates. As far as providing health care for people, it's the same thing with welfare. There's a lot of money that gets sloshed around through taxes and stuff like that. So it's not like I personally have anything against people having health care. But the fact that you have people on the right calling it socialized healthcare when it's basically allowing private insurance companies to write a bill, have it passed, and it's going to help private insurance companies consolidate more power, become more monopolistic, and then of course offer one form of healthcare, which is just the pharmaceutical healthcare, like vaccines and enforced chemo. It's not gonna offer you if you want to get some kind of massage therapy or acupuncture or get some type of whatever, herbal type stuff. They're not going to do that. They're not going to cover it because it's not considered legit. So, and really they can't scam people out of it as much. Even when you go to health stores, those nutritional health stores, they're a ripoff, man. And I know they're all nice and stuff, and they maybe have some advice and knowledge, but you'd be better off going on to Amazon if you're going to get stuff like that, such as vitamins and nutrients and minerals and health supplements. You can find a lot cheaper on Amazon. So here you go. Here's a nice piece of propaganda for you. Flu shot may help your heart, too. So along with what? What else is it going to help besides, artificially stimulate your immune system, which you should allow to be strengthened naturally? It actually ends up weakening it, but study sees reduced risk of cardiovascular trouble. The Journal of American Medical Association, which I wouldn't trust with anything, says that those that got flu shots reduced the risk by about a third of having a heart attack. Like this. So they start off by saying the public service announcements, the Sears urging people to get a flu shot may have just got extra ammo, right? Why do they have to convince people so much to get these damn things? If there are those out there for whatever reason don't get the flu shot or don't feel that they need it, this is one more reason that they might help. It's like, why don't you just eat some oatmeal or something like that, more onions, or things that will help your heart like that, instead of getting a jab of a flu shot. I mean, if I was going to go overseas in somewhere like Thailand or Ecuador, I might think about getting some type of vaccine like that. But as far as shoving these flu shots, I'm not really too big on that. I mean, if you're native to somewhere in South America in the jungle, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're going in a foreign environment like that, you might need something. But places like Walgreens and CVS, they make a killing off those flu vaccinations. And God only knows the amount of, damage that it's doing, and as far as weakening your immune system and stuff, the crap that they put in it. This is my website, Global Government News. The address is ggnonline.net, and on YouTube, DDarko 2012 and 2013 on my YouTube channels. Thanks to those people who donated the last couple of days. I really appreciate that. It's cool that you guys did that. So on to the shooters, right? Today you got the Massachusetts teacher slain 14-year-old student has been charged. But back to this earlier story, remember the Nevada shooter? He was a nice kid. He got bullied. So we also heard about the bully who went to bullying class, then ended up killing himself, like a bully prevention class. One classmate said the shooter pointed to us and said, "You ruined my life, and now I'm going to ruin yours." So again, my quick take is usually you just want to kind of stand up to it if you can. I mean, sometimes you can't, and it's just, like I said, vicious, and it's a horrible place to be in. But I mean, where is this all coming from as far as, our society goes? Where are the parents? Why aren't the parents discussing this with each other? Actually, that's probably what it comes down to. There's no sense of community, so parents aren't talking. Your son's been bullying mine, and he's been doing this and that and that. And of course, the other parent's going to hear about it, and he will talk to him. And of course, the parent has to tell the son, you need to defend yourself, whatever. And of course, if it's even a girl, I mean, try to handle yourself if you can. But that breakdown of community, I think that's a big thing. Now instead of having like a fight on the playground, you get a 9mm or something like that, and you just go blow some people away. So in Massachusetts, this teacher's been killed. It says a 14-year-old high school student described by classmates as soft-spoken and pleasant was accused of killing a well-liked math teacher. And it's good to be empathetic and put yourself in other people's shoes, and you want to see what motivated them, right? That's always what I always talk about, instead of just having an increase weapons or security. Ask why it happened, what motivated the person. But the reason I covered this the way I did was because I wanted to show like how people are really kind of turning the attackers, the murderers, into somehow victims, or compassionate, nice people. They're just they just had a bad day. So apparently this is the picture of both of them, and this guy, if I read it correctly, he may have come from Tennessee, and his family moved him out of there, so there's obviously some issues prior to that. A teen who killed his pregnant ex-girlfriend because she dumped him smirks in court as her father tells of a heartbreaking moment. He held her in arms until she died from being shot 5 times in the back. So supposedly because he was mad that the girl ended the relationship. I almost wonder with that Massachusetts shooting if there was something like that as far as a relationship type thing. Maybe he wanted it, didn't get it. So again, it comes down to, men being men and just people handling rejection. It's a part of life. You don't go and just grab a gun and start shooting people in the back. California sheriff's deputies shoot and kill 13-year-old in Northern California after repeatedly telling him to drop what turned out to be a replica assault rifle. The right wing will kind of, just completely demonize the cop. I'm not backing the guy up. I do agree there are a lot of guns in the culture. I think it's promoted. You go into the stores and you slowly see all these guns that are getting people used to it. When I was a kid, I had fake guns. I thought they were the greatest thing besides cars, Do I think the cop should have shot him? No. But also I don't think that there should be gun laws. We should just try to make this place a little bit safer. And so you don't really need them. You don't need to lock your doors. You need to have guns. A woman allegedly forced to strip. 2 officers have been charged, facing federal charges related to an incident where a woman was allegedly forced to strip naked while one of the accused officers pleasured himself. So this is in October of 2009. Philadelphia. Armed citizens may be the solution to terrorism, says Interpol's Secretary General. So he said that you either start providing extraordinary security perimeters around anything that might be a target, or else let people carry the means to defend themselves. Surprisingly, he leaned towards empowering individuals to take responsibility for their own defense in an interview with ABC News. He did, though, say that he called for tighter passport controls. So why would he be saying that? Different reasons. Maybe he believes in what he said, but I also believe that there is some type of vendetta flooding society with weapons and stuff like that, so that people will, even conservatives and people that are pro-gun, will be like, well, something's got to be done. The government's got to step in and ban, or, whatever, guns. A cop buys groceries for a mom caught shoplifting. She was trying to leave the supermarket with $300 worth of unpaid food. Upon hearing that the accused was the mother of 3 in dire states, the officer went back in the store and shelled out $100 from her own pocket to buy the woman groceries. Said they made a decision because arresting her wasn't going to solve the problem with her children being hungry. Payrolls in the U.S. rise less than forecasted. They added fewer workers to payrolls in the U.S. than projected in September, indicating the world's largest economy had little momentum leading up to the federal government shutdown. And a big UK energy supplier basically is announcing energy price hikes. It says here by 10%. Following recent hikes by British Gas and SSE. One commenter said another fine example of the benefits of a free corporate monopoly. This is the type of crap that I was talking about, right? Never mind the amount of money that goes into the Federal Reserve System so that we can spend our own money. The military complex, all the different complexes. You're going to blame the welfare recipients, right? U.S. spent $3.7 trillion on welfare over the last 5 years. Oxos says all hell could break loose on November 1st. Mostly because of the food stamp cuts set to take effect. DHS is spending a lot of money on armed guards to protect government buildings. along with Arkansas as well. This is GGN, and I'm Darko. Thank you.